Hi, my name is Lori Martineau, and I will be doing a presentation on the family and business culture of Spain. Children, when they're named in Spain, have a first name. It could be one or two parts, but then they don't have a middle name. And then they have two last names. The first last name comes from their father, and the second last name comes from their mother. And when a woman is married, she does not change her name. When you're in a family setting in Spain, it's a nuclear family most of the times, which is just made up of the parents and the younger unmarried children. The older adults usually want to try to move out on their own as soon as they can. And there's a saying, casado casa quiere, which means a married person wants a house. Married couples split the household tasks and the raising of children fairly equally. Children are highly prized and doted upon, and they are raised to respect their elders and to have a strong sense of family values. And they are very intensely social. What they do, instead of having a lot of toys or like kids furniture, is that they just spend a lot of time around their family, and they get socialized just by being with the adults in the family, right from a very early age. Food is a principal currency of social exchange. People form groups just so that they can meet and talk and drink and eat. That's it. Their main social culture, it revolves around these things like fiestas and weddings, which are the same way. Their whole organization of their days revolve around food. They have two breakfasts. The first one's from 7 to 9 a.m. and that one's called desayuno, and it involves just a coffee and like a churro. And then a couple hours later, there's a almuerzo, which might be juice in a tortilla. And then there's the main meal of the day called comida, and that's from between 2 and 3:30. And the whole society revolves around this meal because shops and businesses will close. Schools will either end at this time, or they'll stop and then reopen later, so that everybody can come back home and have a meal as a family together. And it's the main meal of the day, so they're going to have something like a hearty stew, which is called a cocido, or they're going to have a paella, which is like rice and meat and vegetables. So the next meal is going to be something called the merienda, and that's usually between 5:30 and 8. It's a small meal of just a drink and a tapas. Tapas is like a small plated appetizer. Then they have a very light dinner called cena, and that's around 10 p.m. And it might be like a soup, a salad, maybe yogurt and fruit, or some more meat and cheese. Now switching to the business culture. For the business culture, when you're introduced to somebody in Spain, men want to shake hands, and the men will often use a second hand on top of the forearm of the person they're shaking hands with, so that they can express more warmth. When they get to know them better, they'll change that greeting to an embrace with a little pat on the shoulder. Female friends will actually just do a quick little kiss to each cheek to greet each other. When you're addressing your business counterparts, you want to address them as señor, señora, woman married, or señorita, unmarried woman, or their professional title, which is a doctor. Their business dress is stylish and conservative. They want to focus on immaculateness, on well-styled hair, and modesty. They want to wear top quality materials, and they want to have elegant accessories for both men and women. When you're in a formal business dinner, you want to bring a gift that can be shared, and it should be beautifully wrapped. Good examples are chocolates or a nice wine. You can bring flowers, but you want to make sure they're in odd numbers, which is good luck, but not 13, because that's bad luck. You want to make sure it's not chrysanthemums or white lilies, because those are sign of death because they're given at funerals. And you don't want to use red roses because that's a sign of romantic love. You also want to give gifts to the children of the host, and a good gift for them would be branded or fashionable t-shirts or toys. When you're getting ready to eat, you want to remain standing until you are shown to your seat, because you probably will have a specific place to sit. And you don't want to start eating until the host starts, because he may be giving a toast. And if you're the guest of honor, you're expected to also give a toast sometime later in the meal. When you're eating, you want to make sure that your hands are visible at all times. So if you're not in the actual act of eating, you want to have your wrists resting on the edge of the table. When you're done eating, you want to take your fork and your knife and place them parallel on your plate, with the fork tines up and the handles facing to the right, so they know that you're done. And then you don't want to get up to leave the table until the host does. When you're doing business meetings, you want to make sure to make an appointment, and you want to do that usually by phone, and then you want to confirm that appointment about a week in advance. For social events, it's usually perfectly fine to be fashionably late, 15 to 30 minutes in Spain, but when you're doing a business meeting, you do want to be on time. Agendas are often used, but they are not followed strictly. When you have printed materials, you want them to both be in English and Spanish, and arrange for an interpreter if needed. You do not want to schedule a meeting on Tuesday the 13th, because that is their day for bad luck. The communication style that's preferred is always going to be face-to-face. You want to stay modest when describing your achievements. Avoid confrontations as much as possible. Be patient, listen, and pay attention. Be amusing and entertaining, because humor is appreciated. But avoid sarcasm, because that could be seen as disrespectful or untrustworthy. You can talk about things like your home country or interests in the things that you know about the Spanish traditions, art, sports, especially their football, which is our soccer, and destinations you've been to. You want to avoid national or regional stereotypes, which can be insulting. The more you get to know your associate beforehand, the more that they will trust you. And they won't do business with you if they don't trust you. You have to spend some time building a personal relationship with your business associates. Once you do that, then you can start discussing business and trying to close a deal. The personal relationship that you develop is only with you. It's not with your business. So if another rep from your business comes to do the same business, they're going to have to establish rapport all over again. When you're in meetings, several people may talk at once. You may be interrupted, but that's not an insult. That actually means that they're interested in what you have to say. Meetings are for discussion and exchanging of ideas, but decisions aren't really going to be made until afterwards. Spaniards don't like to give their opinions at meetings, so you're going to need to watch for nonverbal communication to see how things are going. They are very thorough and review every detail of your proposal to make sure they understand it. First, they believe you must have an oral understanding, and the contracts will be drawn later. Decision-making is held at the top of the company, so you may never meet the person who makes the ultimate decision. That's it. Thank you.